Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I am just flipping through some of these printables that I received from Tanya Lee Designs, and they are so pretty and I wanted to have a play with them today in my journal. This one's my favorite. I just think it's so cute. So I have these little printable sheets and I wanted to use them for some collaging in my journal. So I am going to go ahead and start tearing up in a minute. But first of all, I'm going to take my journal out of the cover because my cover has quite a lot in the back and it's getting very full. First up, I am grabbing out these I printed off some photos I took because this day I spent quite a bit of time in my mum's flower garden with my sister, and I took these photos of the flowers and I decided I wanted to lay them down in the background as like the background image. You don't see much of it once it's all finished, but you can just see bits peeping through, and I just really liked these photos. So I printed them off nice and big so that they would take up a good deal of the space on my page. I'm now pulling out these beautiful printables from Tanya. They are stunning. I will have her for sure linked below because these are really, really cool printables. And so I am pulling them out and sort of sorting through the ones that I think will work with the pink and white kind of feel that I have going on from the flowers in the background. So I grabbed out these 5 and they're just perfect. So I am just tearing them and adding sort of a collaged border around the edge of the pages. I have been doing this a little bit recently and really enjoying this technique of adding like paper scraps and different collaged pieces, and I think it looks really, really cute. So that is what I'm doing here, just tearing out parts of the printables that I want to include and just sticking them down right around the whole circumference of the page. I think this paper that I'm sticking down now is my favorite. I think I mentioned that before. That piece with the like menu kind of thing is so cute. I really, really love it so much. It's really such an adorable paper. I honestly can't get enough of that one. And then these florals are really cute and hand-drawn looking. I think that is so sweet. I really love that hand-drawn look over the like sort of mass-produced look. I really like it. And then this pink doily paper is also super cute. Really like it. Honestly, the whole lot of her collection is really, really nice. I'm not sure if they're all the one collection actually, or if there's a couple of different collections in there, but I will leave a link down below to the collections that I have used if I can find them. But they are so nice. I definitely recommend them. I am going around the edge with these papers and trying to keep it kind of balanced looking. I don't want the same paper right next to each other, or even being like the one paper and then a different one and then back to that first one again. I'm really trying to keep it balanced with the 5 papers that I'm using and giving enough sort of space between the same paper so that it looks kind of balanced. So luckily with 5 papers that's pretty easy to do. There's enough variety that I've got there that it can happen pretty well. So I'm pleased about that, and I think that it ends up looking really, really nice having those 5 papers together from this collection. I again don't know if they're all the same, but I think they all work really, really well together. Time to start grabbing my photos and adding them in. Hello, my little cat has just come up onto the bed with me to join me. I like to record my voiceovers in our bedroom. I find that they don't sound as echoey in here, so that's my plan. I am turning this little lot of flowers into like a little pull-out kind of a thing. So I took all these photos of my mum's flower garden. She just has such a beautiful flower garden. My sister and my mum together run a little flower growing business. It's really, really cool, and they're doing really, really well with it. They actually have just such beautiful florals that they grow. Please go and check them out if you like. They are Heartly Blooms on Instagram. They do some really stunning florals, so I definitely recommend checking them out if you are a flower lover. I took a whole bunch of photos in Mum's garden with the flowers, and I wanted to include them. So to do that and not to take up my whole page with all of these flower photos, I made this little fold out situation so that I can include all 6 of those photos and still have space on the page for writing and for other photos and things like that. I am using one of Tanya's little tickets here. She sells these in her shop. So Tanya sent me a whole bunch of her amazing stuff, and I am loving it. So I'm using one of these little tickets that she sent me as a kind of the thing that sticks it down. I would normally use like tape or washi tape, but I decided to mix it up and use something different. These are also from Tanya. These are these cute little date circles, and they are really cute. Look at them. So I'm sticking down the April one, and that is going to be the thing that holds down the opposite side of my little fold out, and I can write the date in there. So I think that worked super, super well. So that is holding down that page, and then I'm just sort of bending it and folding it to make sure that it lays flat, and I think that looks really cute. It was a nice alternative to using tape or washi tape to stick down something that folds out. I liked it. This day, my husband James had been in the city for a job interview, so he had this little name tag sticker thing that he had to wear, and he came back and he said, "I brought you a present. I brought you my name tag because I knew you would want it for crafting," and I was so pleased. He was so right. I did want it for crafting. So he knows me so well now. He also sent me this photo of himself when he was in the supermarket because he had had a haircut while he was in the city and he was looking good. So I wanted him to send me a photo of what his hair looked like. So he did. So I stuck that photo in with his name tag, and that kind of just represents him being in the city for his job interview that day. This day was the 15th of April, and the next day, the 16th, was James's birthday. So this day I was busy at home making a sponge cake for a trifle. He loves trifle, and he asked for a trifle instead of birthday cake. So I was making trifle, and I made the sponge, and this side that you can see now looks nice and was a great sponge, but that side, yeesh, it was so dense and it was like a brick. I'd made the first sponge and it just turned out horrible. So I had to do a second sponge. So it was a lot of baking that day to try and get the second sponge done, but it worked out well in the end. So that was good. But man, that first sponge was terrible. I've never seen a sponge more brick-like than that. It was not spongy whatsoever. So I was pleased that I had enough eggs to do a second sponge, because trifle really needs a full night sitting and mellowing before you eat it, I reckon. Let all of the fruit juices and custard and everything all soak in to the sponge so that it's all delicious and tasty. So that needed to be done this day so that it would be ready for the next day. You can see I've got my little label maker out here. I wanted to do a little label on my pull out saying Mum's Flower Garden or something like that. I can't actually remember now. I think it said Mum's Flower Garden or in Mum's Flower Garden, something. And I wanted to use my little label maker to print out that label so that I could stick that down on my fold out as just a little title. So I've printed that off now, and we'll cut it up so that I can stick it down in a nice and pleasing manner. This is where James popped in and brought me candy. These fabulicious, or whatever they're called, sherbet fizzes are our favourites. We get them way too often. Basically, whenever James goes to the shops, he will bring back these. And we love them. We're so obsessed with them. We have them, yeah, like I said, too often. And so I was excited when he popped into my little craft room and gave me one of them to eat. Oh, so yum. Now I am just measuring out the shape of where the journaling can go, because it's too busy to just write straight on the paper. I needed to write on something else. So I had this craft paper and I started writing out my journaling. After I finished writing it, I cut up all of the strips. It took actually quite a long time. I think it probably took me about 20 minutes just to do the cutting and gluing. It took quite a long time, so you're lucky I've spared you. I have cut out a lot of that process, but it took a long time getting that all done. But I just go ahead and I cut out all these strips and I glue them all down to add my journaling in, and it does cover up quite a lot of the background, but I love seeing all of those little different interesting pops of colour and pattern peeking through the background of the text. I think it looks really, really cool, so I was super proud of how that looked. Now I am going in with my washi tapes to add some more colour and interest to the page, just adding some strips down here and there. I'd been trying to find a spot for these negatives. These are again something from Tanya. I think they are really, really adorable. They give such a cute look. And so I decided I would cut one and include it as like a little tab on this fold out. And I think that's perfect. I think having a tab on something that folds out like this is a really, really cute idea. So I enjoyed including that little negative piece. And it's also clear, so it didn't cover up much of the photo or the text, which is a great, really cool thing to have for my tab. I am going in here with my Neo Color 2s to add some more colour. I really love these. These are my favourite art supply, I think, that I own. I use them all the time. I haven't used them that much in this journal though, and I really, really ought to, because I liked how this looked. I just went in and did some hearts, and now with the yellow I was just adding some sort of highlight sort of lines and bits and pieces, and I think that it really helps make the page pop a little bit. With that yellow particularly, I think was really what brought the page together. I will be in a moment going in with my water brush, because they are quite waxy and they transfer a lot. Well, they're wax pastels, so they of course are waxy. But once you add water to them, I really find the colour shines even more, and it takes away all of that waxiness and the transfer, so it's not going to rub off against other pages, which is really, really cool. And it gives you kind of a slightly more watercolory effect. I love them. They look amazing. I really, really love them on all of the art that I do. I use them so often. That is about the page complete. I do just add another tab using those negatives down to the bottom corner of my page, and that's all. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it if you've made it all the way through this video. Please go and check out Tanya. She does sell some really, really lovely things, and I really appreciate what she's done by sending me some of the beautiful things she has for sale. So thank you, Tanya. You are amazing. You are a star. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.